Hello guys, it's me, Fang the Gamer once again, and today I'm going to teach you some tips and tricks on how to build in Roblox. So, first when you want to build something, you have to have what you're going to build in mind. So, we're going to build a simple little house, but let's say you want to build a skyscraper or something like that. You want to kind of get the design for it and kind of think of how it's going to turn out and how it's going to look. This plays a very important role in building architecture in Roblox, because if you go in and you just start randomly building, you won't always get the best design out of what you're trying to build. So first, I'm going to teach you how to set up a brick and how to make it where you can easily just build with it. Now, normally people place just bricks into the game and they just start building. Well, I'm going to teach you the right good settings for a block or brick. And so what we're going to do is we're going to hit this button right here, part. We're going to take this and lift it up a little bit so we can see all the angles on it. Then you want to go over here, you want to hit anchored. Now again, these are just my preferences for a building part, and you guys may like them. You can exclude some of them, but I'm going to try to explain why I'm doing this in certain areas. So why we're doing anchored is when a block is anchored, it will not move. I'll show you what I mean by this. Let's go into play mode. We see this brick over here, it will not fall. So as you can see, no matter what you do to it, it just won't fall. It's the same as a block being connected on studs, but you don't have to connect it to anything. And this is really good because when you're building structures, if it's not anchored, it always has to be connected to a stable foundation. And if it's not, it will fall and tumble, and you really don't want that in building a structure or even just a chair, something as simple as that. So we're going to take this anchored block, and again, that's in behavior. It's the properties tab, so just check the mark on that. So next you want to pick what color you want out of it. I like gray. Then you want to do what material. Today we're going to use plastic in our house, but there's many different types of materials. And again, when you plan your build, you want to think of what types of material you're going to use in that build. So you just want to plan out all the different blocks and materials that you're going to use. So next, what I like to do is, because this block is anchored, you don't need any studs or glue or anything. So I just go to surface, then smooth, no outline. Click that, and I like doing all sides, everywhere on it, because what this does is it's kind of like smooth, where it's just a surface, but smooth, no outline, when it's connected to a brick, another one, it won't show the lines in between. Sometimes lighting errors and stuff like that, you may see a little bit of a line, but that huge line on a block connecting to another one won't be there. So normally we would leave these unchecked because they would be stuck to the platform, but we want to cover these too, because again, it's anchored. It doesn't need anything to be connected to it. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to lay out all the blocks that we're going to use for this build. Again, this is why it's a good thing to plan out your builds. So we're going to take the block here, just put it there, and then we're going to load in another block. Actually, we're going to copy it from there. Oh, and I forgot one thing. Also, it's best to build in symmetric. Yours may be just brick. Symmetric is the best. It's because it's a certain length and size, and it's just right. And it's kind of like mesh blocks, but not as bad. So that's good. So I'm going to get one of these, copy it from the other one. Then we're going to change the color. So like I said, we're going to use plastic, but it is a house, so it needs wooden planks on the ground. So let's ignore what I said about using plastic. We're going to use wooden planks, and then we're going to color this a nice brown, so it keeps it that good realistic texture to it, as if it was really planks. And so we want to set up a little palette right here, so we can just drag and take bricks from our palette. So we've got 2 right now. I'm going to build a dumpy house just for the tutorial. I've made buildings and stuff, so this is not how I build, but it's just a simple house that we're going to do. So next we're going to need another part. Actually, I keep forgetting, we can just copy it from here. This time it's going to be a plate. I said to always build in symmetric, but plates are somewhat exceptions. So we have our plate here. We're going to make sure it's smooth, no outline, which it is. And we are going to paint this green. You guys may wonder what I'm doing here. Then we're going to copy that, turn it into another plate. We're going to turn this one blue, any color really, because it will be covered up. Then we're going to take this one again, this one, and turn it into a grass. That's a little dark for grass, so we're going to like that's perfect. So now that we have these, that's distracting now, even though we're not going to see it. It's kind of eyesore as of now. So we have our little palette right here, and we're going to start building. So we have this right here. This is going to be our foundation block. We're going to stretch it out a little bit. I'm not going to do measurements for now. Sometimes you want to build in measurements, but when you get a starting out platform, you can just make it big and then adjust it around that. Now, this is how big our house is going to be. One thing you want to remember is, just as if this was locked so you don't accidentally move it, you want to make the foundation, because you're going to be working a lot on the foundation, and you may actually move it and it just mess up your build. Even though you can redo it, it just gets annoying. So then we're going to take this, our grass block, our grass plate, and we're just going to line it up kind of right there. So we have that nice grassy feel, outdoor feel to this. And tutorials, materials really bring life to your build, because it's just, if you use plastic a lot in your build, it's not art. It's just one straight material, one maybe even color if you're building the same color. So we want to have a huge variety, is what I'm really saying. Now we're going to take our symmetrical block here, and then we're going to kind of move it about there. We want a doorway. That's pretty good. Yeah, I like that. So we're just going to copy that. Another tip and trick to building is, when you're building, you want to think how many people are going to join your game or your headquarters or something like that. This plays a big role, just like planning your build, because the more people, the more lag. And that builds up lag, but one of the biggest things is the amount of parts that you have in your build. This is a huge thing that can become a huge problem. It will make your whole world really laggy, and you really don't want that if maybe even thousands or hundreds of people are going to be joining, because it's just not good for your plot, for your world. And I was talking about building a foundation, but I think instead of that being the foundation, we're just going to erase this block, and we're just going to make this foundation as if it was wooden planks. Yeah, I like that. So, no, I don't want that. There you go. That's better. Our material, wood planks. See, that's nice. So now we're going to take our block and we're going to stretch it over the open area to make a doorway effect. And again, this is one of the biggest reasons why it is anchored, because that won't fall on our character's head or anything. What I like doing for roofs is, of course, you can make the curved roof, stuff like that, but for this tutorial, we're just going to make a flat roof. I know that sounds boring, but we're just going to make a flat roof because it's just simple. and this video is for the tips and tricks. I may do some showcases of some of the builds I've made, maybe not, but this one's definitely going to be here, so you guys will be able to know some tips and tricks on building in Roblox. So we're going to come around to build. It's always good to test your game. Like for example, that's kind of high and kind of wide. So I'm going to stretch that down a little bit. Move it just a little bit smaller. There you have that basic house. Those are some tips and tricks that I've learned. So again, what I was saying about lag is to conserve blocks. You wouldn't want to be lazy in building. I'll try to show you what I mean. So let's say we have maybe this doorway, somewhat of an opening. So we have that here. So when you're building and trying to conserve the amount of blocks that you use, you want to keep in mind that you have to be aware of what you're building and just be really aware of how you can conserve blocks. So I'm building a little something to just show you what I mean. It's not a house, it's not really anything, but I'm just going to build this. So for example, one good way to conserve block usage is to make all these pillars lower down, and to make this top half go all the way over. Because normally you have these pillars here, and you'd be like, oh, I'm just going to place the same block right here, and now act as a heading. Won't show because we have no outline, but that's still not a good thing, because there's one more block that you could have taken out of your build to conserve blocks. So you just want to keep in mind, I know I was building something earlier, a skyscraper, and I made sure to conserve blocks, and it kind of went to this type of style. I was building windows, big glass windows, and it was the same, basically the same thing. I just put one long block over the windows, and that did pretty well. And so that's just a little tip of how you can conserve blocks in your build. And just be creative when you build. There's no limitations. I know that sounds really motivational type of thing, but there is no limitations to what you build. Nobody can tell you all this build's lame. Just try your best and hope for the best. And I'm sure you guys will be great building. These are just a couple things I've learned, and I'm not an excellent builder. I've built some things, but I'm not to the extent of building huge maps and stuff like that, but I just focus on some of the simple skyscrapers and stuff like that. I would show you one of the builds that I'm making, but it's not finished, and so it's barely done because I'm putting a lot of detail into that build, and it wouldn't be a lot to show. But this is just a couple little things I've learned. I'm glad to share them with you. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This wasn't a big thing, it wasn't a huge video, just a small short video of just a couple of things that I've learned. So I hope you guys enjoy watching my videos. Comment if you have questions or just things that you want to tell me, and I'll try my best to respond. I always love reading comments, so I'll try my best to respond to them, and I'll definitely read them. Like and subscribe if you want. Again, I'm not pushing, like I said in my intro, I'm not pushing for people to like and subscribe, but if you like some of my videos and you want to keep up to date on them, then that's a way. So I'll catch you guys later in my next video. Hopefully that'll be soon. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this one and the next one that I'm preparing. I'm not too sure on what I'm going to do next for my next video. Again, I'm starting out on YouTube, and so I'm just trying to post some videos of some of the things that I've learned, some things I can help teach you guys, and just stuff like that. So I hope this video was helpful, and I'll catch you guys later.